Good morning. We're back in the studio. It's been a while. I'm excited to do acrylic. I've enjoyed doing watercolor, but I'm excited to do acrylic. I have to open up this canvas. Didn't do that yet. I'm really sniffly, and it's because I've been sneezing so much. I don't know what it is, but it's something I've noticed with allergy shots is sometimes I just get really sneezy. And it's frustrating, and they're like, oh, that's normal. And I'm like, okay. Cool. They're like, it'll go away. Great. This canvas is really loose. Where is that spray? If this doesn't work, I will switch to a different canvas, and then this one will need restretched. Isn't ideal that I have to stretch it, but I can. Spray bottle. There we go. So today, I was looking through my photos last night, and I found one I had taken in May of a spider web, and I was like, I really like this. So I decided I wanted to paint it. That's better. All right. Sneezing is annoying, but it's better than constant hiccups. I get hiccups a lot, too. Better. Much better. The corners are a little... eh. Spray some of this down into the corners. Maybe that'll help. So, the spiderweb picture, I decided, obviously it was in color when I took it, that I wanted to do it in black and white, because at some point I edited it, and I might have put it on Instagram. Maybe that's why I have it edited so much. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to paint a spider web. And it was on a fence, which is why there's this black bar here, and there's like this light part at the bottom. So I have a note on my phone that says, songs to delete off stream computer, which is this computer. So when I turned it on for the first time in at least a month, I was like, I told Radio Dread I would delete Mary Had a Little Lamb. But I didn't delete Itsy Bitsy Spider, but it's so fitting. There is no spider in the spider web. I did look through the photo, and I had biked past this fence that's protecting neighborhood children from falling into a retention pond. And it was just covered in spider webs, like every opening between each of the balustrades. I can't be mad, at least Mary and her lamb left the building. So it was really pretty. It was all lit up in the sun. This was back in May, so I took a photo of it. That's much better. What's next? Switch. There we go. That's better. We should leave it in rotation until you finish the painting. Okay, when the painting is done, someone remind me to put it on my list of songs to delete from the playlist. So I did not sketch this out because it's a photo I took. I probably should have sketched it out. Because I do like to have my sketchbooks full of, like, stuff I've been working on. Because, let's see, I didn't sketch out the Blue Dawn picture, I don't think. But, like, I have big canvas. And then I have big canvas version 2, because I did change it. And then I have all of my tests. And then I have more tests for big canvas when we talked about blue and greens. And then I have the fireworks stuff for the fireworks. And this was more fireworks stuff, but then I don't. So I should have sketched this, but I didn't. That's fine. Also, someone remind me, I'm going to release the time-lapse for the Aurora after I'm done streaming today, which means that that piece will be on eBay and Redbubble. I'm gonna do that after stream. Hopefully I remember. All right, we have a 23-month resub at tier 2 from Radio Dread. Radio Dread, the cause of Mary Had a Little Lamb going away. I almost said ham. Maybe she also had a ham. We have an 11-month resub from Action Cat, 23 months from Gold Mage, 18 months from Rebel Tech TV, 22 from Brina BX, and 15 from Amaya A. Mary had a little ham. Also, I have my golden cup today. I'm so happy. I don't know if I've gotten to have this up here. Look at this. So great. Do I have a... I don't. I don't have any acrylic in the tubs that would look just like this. Actually, I do. Where is it? Where is it? Is it on my shelf and not my cart? It is. But this kind of looks like it. This is modeling paste. It looks kind of like it. This doesn't have all the information. It has some of it. This stuff is, like, you can add this to paint and bulk it up. It's very thick. It's kind of... like, it has a lot of texture to it. You can, like, essentially shape stuff on the canvas with it. I have a bunch of things like that that I don't ever use. Okay, so for the spiderweb piece, I should probably have this on rotate. Ooh. I'm gonna start by doing the background, which is the trees and the sky back there. And we're gonna just keep building. I'm not gonna try and keep the bars of the fence blank until I get to them. I'm just going to paint them later on top. I think that would be the best bet here. So all the stuff in the background is blurry. It's like, there's even some like bokeh, like circle lights coming through from the aperture of my camera. And it's all black and white, so I don't have to think much about my color mixing today. Which I appreciate. But I do need titanium white. And I think I'm gonna go with Mars, just because it's slightly warmer. And I don't know if I want this to be super cold with carbon black or not. So I'm gonna go with Mars. Spooky in February? Yes, please, Slim says. I looked at my photo as I scrolled through my photos and I thought, I could save this for the fall. And I thought, it's February, I don't want to wait till fall. So we're doing it now. Can we art the picture to see it better? We sure can. That's not the right server. It's like, where's the mod thing? Let me go find it in color as well. Okay, I put two. One is the one I'm doing, and one is another photo I took the same day, but I didn't edit into black and white. So here it is in color. So you can kind of see slightly better what's going on. And I just really liked how it was all catching the light. And then the next one is what I'm going to actually paint, where I moved a little bit so the sun wasn't blowing everything out, and then I cropped it down to the right ratio, and then I made it black and white. So that's what we're painting. And what I want to do first is I want to give myself a basic idea of where the trees are gonna sit. And I'm gonna do that by just kind of drawing a little bit. Give myself a little indication of a grid. Okay. Tree here. I tightened this canvas, so like even drawing on it, I'm hearing it. Okay, that's really all I wanted. Noah did message me and say, "Are you putting go birds in the spider web?" And I said, I think I just laughed in response. I don't think I even said I was or I wasn't. But some birds, sorry. It's very funny, Sapphire Becca. I think spiders are misunderstood, Fruit of Doom says. I agree. I like spiders. I don't want them in my house. They can be outside all they want. They can do whatever. I don't mind. I don't mind if they're in the garden. Whatever. I just don't want it in the house. Am I putting a cabin on the web? So I was at I got my hair cut. Not super short. I just got it trimmed down a little bit. And then they redid my framing curtain bangs. I was talking to my hair salon lady. And she's like, last time I saw you, you were going to see your sister and giving her a painting. And so she's like, can I see it? So I pulled it out on my phone and I showed it to her. And I was telling her about that cabin. Like, I was like, I keep thinking she needs a cabin. And I kept asking my sister for a photo of the cabin. And then she's like, I don't want a cabin in it. Spiders are evil. They can be evil outside. It's been so long since I've used the Mars Black. It's really stuck on the cap. You should do a small painting of a cabin to give her. I hate when this happens. I need to research this. Sometimes, if I don't use a color for a while, it gets this white powder on the treads of the tube. And then it makes it really hard to use. And I don't know what it is or why it happens. Like, my guess is it's like a bread mold or something. but like it's not getting exposed to air. And it kind of feels like when you get a bunch of change and like it gets gross, or like corroded batteries, that's what it reminds me of. Draw a cabin on a sticky note and put it on the painting. That's not a terrible idea if I didn't know what the sticky note sticky stuff would do to it. Because I noticed the other day that sticky notes on my desk leave a residue because I caught it in the sunlight and I was like, I had a sticky note just sitting right there. Okay, we have light gray all the way to, I'm not going to call that all like pure Mars black. I think that would be a mistake if I did that, so we're not going to do that. I did draw, I have these white chalk pastels, like the kind I use here, but not gray, sitting on my desk for a while now, like for a month, 2 months. It was December I put them there. And I decided, I was just like, I have Post-its all the time. And I drew just a little spear with the white pastel on the pink Post-it and just shaded it for fun. And I was like, oh, this was kind of fun. It would be fun to do like a full drawing because I have a black sketch pad because this is white. I just have one that's in like black paper. I was like, I should do that. So after stream last Friday, when I finished the orchid, I decided that I was going to do that. And I looked at my calendar and thought, oh, Thomas's birthday is tomorrow. It'd be nice to give Thomas something because I never get to give my friends gifts really. So I drew Thomas something on that with the white chalk pastel last week. And I just got the frame in the mail. He knows it already, so I can mail it to him. Okay, I mixed up my sky color and I'm thinking it's too dark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put more white paint on my palette. And use that color to make it darker. Present. A very, very, very long time ago, like the first year I knew Thomas, he was talking about how he wanted an ex libris for his library, his personal library, not his work library, to go in the front of his books. And he really wanted a dog, specifically like a Cocker Spaniel, like with the big curly ears. And he's like, this is what I want. And I thought it was cute. And I never had a chance to do it because I was in the middle of teaching and everything was hard and I didn't do anything otherwise. And so that came back to me on Friday last week and I thought this would be a good time to do it. So I drew a Cocker Spaniel with white chalk on black paper. And I set him on a box, so he's like sitting on a box, so I can scan it and put it in Photoshop and put Ex Libris on the box. So he can have that, and then he can have the physical version, because I don't need to keep that, and that can be his. So I need to mail that to him. He's seen it. He just... Actually, I had told him on Friday, I was like, Thomas, I have a gift for you, but I don't know how to get it to you because it can't touch anything because it's chalk on paper. And he's like, that's concerning. And I'm like, if I frame it and mail you it in the frame, what kind of frame like works in your house? And he's like, anything. So I just got a frame and I said, you can throw the frame away and get it different if you want, but it will at least protect it. Okay, We have 2 grays, let's do 1 more. I need more Mars Black for this. This cap, just now, it won't close because it's like corroded. I can't leave it where it is right now. I need to make sure that I close it up completely when I'm done today, or it will dry out. And I have no plain Mars Black on my palette because I will be tempted to use it, and I want to save that for the fence post should I decide to do that. And I do have some titanium white, but that's going to be only on the spider web itself, and only in some areas because I want it to just barely catch the light. So I'm wondering if I should like mix this into something. Chose to mix it into my lightest gray. And I think that might have been a mistake, but I can easily just add a little bit of another gray into it. All right, let's swatch this. So that's my sky color. And then here's my next gray. And then here's my darkest gray. None of, like, obviously the white would be closer to the paper color, and black is much darker. Like, this would be the black. I just set that in there. It's just a very dark gray. So I want to make sure that I save a little bit of my value scale in case I do need to use pure Mars Black alone for something. I don't want to jump to it yet. We have a 19-month resub from Kita. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay. I took off my polish last night because it was getting really chipped. So I need to redo my nails too. That might be a tomorrow thing. Let's see. So I'm going to start off with a base, just kind of filling things in generally where they're going to go. Action Cat says, I need to do my nails today for my birthday tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday. Noah says, I know what color you should paint them. Yeah, I'm going to paint them that color. Now, something I could have done is I could have done an underpainting. And with this painting, I think purple would have been nice, but I didn't. So we're gonna just stick with black and white, and it's going to be very, very plain black and white instead of skewed one way or another. And that's fine. I think it will give it a very spooky look. I just tried picking up a gray and I shouldn't have done that. I need more of this. I should do the edges. Okay, did the edges. Now we're going to move on to doing the rest of it. So there's a little bit of grass down here, which is where the retention pond sits. And you're not going to see much of this in the end, but it does give it a little bit of variation, so I'm going to do it anyway. Good morning, Renee. May have just woken up from an accidental nap. We have an 11-month resub from Soph G. Good morning. I just realized I can't set this anywhere now. Stay right there. I need to cover up this paint anyway. It's been a while since I've done a big painting. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 18 by 24s over there. I should consider doing that. Obviously not today. We're doing this today. We're just gonna let that dry for a sec. I think I'm also gonna scrape these down because I made them a little too thick. I don't want my sketchbook to not close. That's better. Just get rid of some of the high points. I got an email from the vet the other day because we're trying to refill Kepler's medications. And they were like, well, how's he doing? Which is a valid question. And I was like, really good. And I gave them the information they wanted about, like, how's his litter box habits been and how his food's been and no vomiting. And I sent them a photo of him sitting in a box. They didn't ask for a photo, but I was like, here he is. And they were like, very cute. And they sent back a cat emoji. I suppose I could post that, because why not? We need to give this a second to try anyway. Kepler in the box. Vagabond, I assume it's the photo you sent me. It sure is. There is Kepler in a box. Vagabond sent something that was not for mail, and I opened it. And Kepler enjoyed the box very much. There was a box in a box, so I set them both there. So, like, then he got in the other box. Box choice. He had to see which one he liked best. Shouldn't have done this. And my goal with this is just kind of to fill in the canvas. No, too late, gotta commit. Yeah. So this is kind of functioning as my underpainting. And like one of the pieces of advice I give people when you're starting out is a blank canvas is really intimidating. It's like a new sketchbook. Like, God, I'm gonna mess it up on the first page, then the whole thing is ruined. And like, that's not true. So like, my advice is just to put paint down sometimes. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just putting paint down. Yeah, this probably goes up to about here. And I'm only sticking with these 3 grays, and I can just go back and forth quite easily. As I need to. If I need more sky, I can just pick up some of that light gray. Tree there, and there's like a tree here. See, we're already getting trees. And then over here, there's kind of a tree there, and kind of a tree here. And there's kind of like a semblance of a tree here. Like, that's all we're doing to start. And I think I put too much up here. That's fine. And I don't like how harsh this line is, but that's also fine. We'll just soften it. Lovely. Now I'll do the sides. That's pretty good so far. I'm happy with that. You can really tell now that it's here and against this backdrop that it's not solid black. Like I said, I don't want to go solid black yet because then I can't push it as easy. Like, we need to have that ability to go darker if I need to. And right on top of that is where the spider webs are going to be like their brightest because they're going to catch the sunlight. So the difference in that value scale from white to black is going to really make that pop. So I probably will go darker here eventually, but I want to give myself the ability to not yet. And I do want to scrub out a little bit of this darkness I put on the sky for the one tree here, because it's just a little too much. Okay, there's our good base layer. And I forgot right here. Shoot. Grab a little bit of the dark color. And brush that in. Good. I love a gloomy sky. It's comforting. It does look really gloomy. And it was like a super bright sunshine day too, because like the spider webs really caught the light. Like I biked past this and then I had to stop and go back. And like my phone is not easily within reach while I'm biking. Sometimes depending on what kit I'm wearing, it's easier to get to. But sometimes it's like in a zippered pouch, like under my saddle. And sometimes it's like in my back, like lower back pocket, because a lot of bike jerseys have pockets there, but I don't like that if it's not zippered because I'm worried it'll jump out. Like I wouldn't mind if I lost like tire levers if I had them there, but I don't want to lose my phone. And one of my kits has a pocket like on the outside of the thigh, and it goes to my knee, so I can at least get my phone really far down in that if I'm going to put it there. That's probably the spot where it's easiest to get to. Or my vest. I have this vest with like this snap-off sleeve thing. So it's a vest, but if I want long sleeves, it has like an over part that snaps on. That one has zippered pockets. That's the easiest one to get to my phone. If I'm going to take a picture. I think I just need to start investing in kits that have all zippered pockets on the jerseys. Yeah, but those are the expensive ones. Because sometimes you're riding and like you want a photo while you're riding. You don't want to have to stop and unclip your shoes and then get to your phone. And I mean, sometimes you do because you want your bike in the photo, but sometimes you just want like an action shot. But this one, my phone was not convenient, so I biked past it and I was like, no, I really want that photo. And then I had to come back, park my bike, get my phone, take a bunch of photos. This might have been before I was clipless too, because this was May. I think I had my flat pedals on still. Okay, now we need to start building the detail of this background. And because it is blurry and it is the background, and the spider web is going to be the focus, reminder, we don't want it to be too detailed. I don't need to go too much into this. I can just do a little bit. But there's a lot of like see the bokeh? Like there's a lot of that happening. So we're going to very carefully do a little bit of that. This part is dry enough to work. And then like I do need to probably bring in some darker colors, especially like in this zone and a little bit down here. I think this might be too light, but that's fine. We can just do like a glaze wash of this color on top of that. Let's rotate this so it's taking up slightly more space. Cool, that helps. It will probably fall. The next iPad I get, I'm gonna get one of like the grippy things on it so I can hold it better, because this does not have a case and it's just so slippery. All right, what brush do I want to use? Should probably put my good brush away. You are too big. This is not a terrible choice if I want to keep this loose and painterly and not give in to my perfectionist tendencies. This is probably a decent choice. What else do I got? We have a 23-month resub from Bored Turtle. Good morning. Hello. All right, so I have a filbert, a very old filbert, but I'm going to be doing a lot of like scrubbing, so that's fine. I have this angle. This is not how this brush came. I cut it this way. Is this a deer hoof? These have a name. Yeah, deer foot. And then I have this really bad round that's gotten frayed, and I've cut pieces off because they got too messed up. We'll use these. And I have that bristle if I want it. Oh, to not give in to perfectionist tendencies. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good at that. Okay. Now I want to just do a little bit. I have this with grid lines, don't I? I do have this with grid lines. I do want to know a little bit about where things are going to go. Just to give myself a little clue about how much space I actually have to work with. Four, 6, 2, 5, 2.5, 7.5. I'm not going to do as careful of a job with this as I did like on the sparkler painting, but I do want to know approximately where all of my vertices are. Just to have a base idea of that. Remember how I said I was sneezy? It just tickles my nose and it's not been very fun at all. Okay. Because then I can be like, okay, well, here's a vertice. You can kind of see the blue lines on stream, I think. And all I do to make this is I put it in Photoshop and do a guide layout. And if I just want to break it up into 16, then I do 4x4. 4 columns, 4 rows, and then I do a screenshot. There might be a better way to do this. And sometimes if I do want a grid, which I did make, is I'll do whatever my inches are, which is 8x10, so that I have an inch grid on it if I want. But this just gives me a general idea of where I'm trying to be, so I can kind of look at this square and this vertice and see what sits there on top of it. And that way I know how much space I have, because I do get the bar of the fence down here, and that will fill in down here. You see how light that is, like right on top of it? The top of that bar? That is not this, which is why I'm thinking this is too bright. So I'm gonna have to tone that down a little bit. And this is super blurry back here. Like, hard to kind of even tell what's going on blurry. And like this tree that I did is actually supposed to be more like here. but that's fine. I can just pick up sky color and start to bring that back down. And essentially just kind of move it and shift it. And I can jump between my 3 grays and just change it up however I feel like it. So if I need to darken it, I can pick up the darkest one and kind of work back into this. And I'm very happy with how that's looking. Like, I've worked here left. And I do have to make up the side of the canvas because I don't have that in the photo. Is this a commission painting? Nope, this is not commissioned. I think the only thing I've actually done full commission was my sister's piece, the big painting, but she didn't pay me for that. It was a gift. So I'm gonna grab the side of this while I'm thinking about it. Jordan will pay for it, I'm sure. I mean, I did get to snuggle her and hold her when I saw her. And I'm already making plans to go back up. I don't want this one to be another pine. That's better. Okay. Continuing. This is right about where that pole sits on the fence. So I can paint this in, but also I don't have to do all of it or pay as much attention to it. Because like there's a little bit that sticks out. And I don't exactly know where it's going to sit in the space, so I have to do a little bit of it. Right on this line though, we do get a little bit of this tree. Like many trees in the state of North Carolina, it's a longleaf pine. They get very tall and they have long, long needles. I'm just going to give the hint of a trunk in these. This vertice is about here, so it gets darker down in here. Ooh, I like this dramatic music. And we're starting to get into the area, like this side has a lot more of the bokeh. So we're gonna have to do that soon. And between these vertices we get some of this. The dramatic is extra pressure on Noah. I'm sorry, Noah. This vertice sits here, so we get really dark kind of above it, working down into it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to add some more Mars in. But that's why I didn't do it before, because I wasn't sure, and it's too hard to go back. But it's looking good. It's kind of fun. And like these lights down here, those will get moved in at some point. Right now I'm just trying to do the full shape. And this whole triangle does get filled in a little bit. Okay. What I want to do next is I want to darken this down here. This brush maybe? Yeah. Am I going to keep doing this monochrome? I am. The whole thing's going to be monochrome. I'm going to keep it... I'm using Mars, so it's not as cold as Carbon Black. But it's still going to be quite cold because it is solid black and white. What oil brands do I prefer? I have only done one oil painting in my entire life, and that was when I student taught. And the person I learned from when I was student teaching with, phenomenal oil painter. Also, incredible sculptor. Super nice guy. But he was just kind of like, here's oil paint, go. You should at least have done one. And I am quite loyal to Golden as an acrylic brand because I've used them since college and they have always treated me well. The paint, I've had a few interactions with the company and they've all been amazing also. Like, I've had questions about best practices or like, hey, how do these things interact? And they've always gotten back to me and been super responsive about that. Actually, I have little samples of their Williamsburg oil paints, which are Golden's oil paint line. Okay, so I used gloss glazing liquid, which is clear, with the darker color and went back over that. Always good to find a company that values questions, Kit says. They do a lot of testing. Like, they have a location in Arizona where they have a big wall that's like tilted 45 degrees to face the sun, and they do a lot of light fastness tests with their paints. And so, like, I appreciate that they do that. And they also, like, do a lot of education with best practices and safety and things like washing paint water so you don't put it down your drain. I don't know if I like how that turned out. On camera, I think it looks fine to darken that hill back there, but I don't like it. I don't know how to describe it. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. So I'm just gonna mix up paint and go back over it. Like, that feels better. I think it's too light though. Starting to get back into art after a couple decades, held hostage in architecture. My dad almost went into architecture, and he still, I think, kind of thinks about it. Yeah, that's a better... Okay. And that'll be better once I darken some of those trees back there. We have a 21-month resub from K Crinion. Good morning. Vagabond says, next time you're in New York, you can schedule a visit to the factory. I want to go so bad. Originally, that was the only place you could get these mugs, which was the main reason I wanted to go. They do... What do they call it? What's it called in the art world? They do, like, artist-in-residence things, where they have places you can stay and you can make art and you get a stipend of art supplies. And you just kind of live on campus where the paints are made and you make art for like a month. And you have to apply. And I think it would be very fun. Tell your dad to run away from architecture. I mean, he's retired, so anything he does for fun. He used to, when I was little, he would like measure out a room and then draw it to scale on graph paper. And then he would like measure all the furniture and draw it to scale on graph paper, and we would play with layouts of rooms, and he'd be like, okay, what if we put the bed in the corner? Like, where do the nightstands sit? And then we'd like play around, and then we'd move the room to sit like that. TB says, I've actually driven by the Golden Factory a few times. Ah, cool. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere, New York State. It's in, what, New Bern? New Berlin. Is New Bern a town in Wisconsin? I think there's a New Berlin in Wisconsin too. Okay. Now, do I want to do like the bokeh first or the dark first? I'm thinking dark. Darken it up a little bit here and a little bit up into this area. And just a little bit in some of these areas. And still, I think I should not do solid Mars black. I think I should just do a darker gray than this. There's a New Berlin in Wisconsin? Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to clean this out before I'm done for the day because I'm going to ruin this entire tube of Mars Black if I don't. The other thing I could do is I can mix glazing liquid into this and do it transparent, but I already wasn't thrilled about how that went down here. I can even still see a little bit of it. And normally, you guys know, I like to do a glazing liquid washes on top, do some transparent glazing, but I don't know what it did to this. Like, it kind of separated the black out and made it darker. It did something, and I don't love it. So we're just going to mix up a new black, or rather a dark gray. We have a 23-month resub from Bossix who says, I've made too many big purchases lately and I'm starting to regret it. Maybe budget for a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna start. I did the thing I know I shouldn't, which is I started with my dark color. You should start with your light color. Because Mars Black has a strong tinting strength. Oh, I was talking about living at Golden. If I was there and did the artist in residence for like a month, I could ask all the questions that I want to know. Because they will have, like, you can schedule time, I think, with like the technicians who do all of the paint stuff and be like, okay, explain to me how MSA varnish works. Give me a demo, teach me all about it. I want to understand how to remove varnish because I've never had to do that, but I want to know how to do it if I ever have to do it. So like, I could go learn. Acquire paint lore, yes. Actually, after stream today, I'm gonna start laundry because I need to do laundry. And then I'm going to go mix up some MSA varnish because I've never used it before. But the guy at the art store, the local art store here in Raleigh, convinced me to buy it. He's like, listen, he's like, you're already speaking to my heart because you use isolation coats. And he's like, a lot of artists don't even know about that. And he's like, Vagabond, video first, I know. I will do that first. That will be the very first thing. He's like, so you know that. He's like, you really need to get away from spray can varnish. And I'm like, I know, but it's so convenient. And he's like, try mixed varnish. He's like, you will think it's a difference and you will be like, okay, why haven't I done this years ago? So if you guys remember, I did when I'm done streaming for today, once I finish this background, which is my plan to finish today, I'll pull the painting I'm gonna release onto YouTube and eBay for auction, and I'll pull the next one that's going to happen. One of those I'm going to do the MSA varnish, and I'm going to do the spray varnish on the Aurora because that's going to go up for auction and I need to make sure that's ready and cured before I ship it to whoever buys it. So that one will get spray varnish, but the next one will get the mixed varnish because that one will be easy enough to recreate if I really had to. If I mess it up somehow, the Milky Way painting I did is the test for big canvas. I can repaint that one pretty easy. The Aurora is a little bit harder. That would be more effort that I'm not having the time for right now. Okay, swatching the new color on top of the old dark color shows that it is different enough to be visible. Don't drop the iPad. Okay. Don't know how well that comes across on stream, but it is darker. You'll notice it when I put it on here, but it's not as dark as pure Mars Black. I still have that if I want to use it to darken anything up. Because that is there. You can't tell. Probably not. But I also have giant glare lights. Visit part of New York State that no one knows exists. Sincerely, someone who lives in that part of the state. I have a friend in, God, where does she live? Not far from there. And then I also have a friend who's in not Buffalo, east of Buffalo, that area. Brady Dread says, I really like the painting so far. It's so moody, like an album cover. It is moody like an album cover. Let's switch to this brush, and I need to rinse this out real quick and go to the sink. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just stepping off camera over to the sink. I want to make sure I had some really clean water if I need it. Panic! Whose album would it be? It reminds me of something. Whose album is it that has trees like this? Black and white cover. 90s. Is it a Dave Matthews? Oh yes, that's definitely who this would be. Crescelium, you are so right. Okay. Where's my vertices again? I lost this one. Vertice, vertice. So, see, it looks like black, but it's not, because that would be even darker. That would be super dark. Why is Midwest emo a genre? And this makes this way too light. So we're just going to dry brush this in, because I want it to be there, but I don't know how solid I want it to be yet. And we're just going to build this up, and it looks like I think it's too big of a step between this and this. Yeah, it's too big of a step, but that's okay, because I can take this color and bring it kind of into the darker color as I'm working and kind of go and make a scale between those two. Kind of just like grab both on my brush, because like that's it here where I have both on my brush, and this is just the dark, and then this is just the original dark color I had. So I can kind of do like a wet and wet mixing here on the canvas and give it some variation. And I think that's a good compromise between all of that. But this is too light again. That's okay. We can just keep darkening that up. When I was hanging out with some bike friends the other day, I was talking to this guy. We were talking about American football, the band. We had a nice conversation about it. Scratchy brush. Yeah. This is, I have some brushes that are super beat up that I use for stuff like this. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put it here and then immediately regret it. but it's building it nicely. It's looking good. Bike friends. I'm actually meeting up with a bike friend tomorrow. We're getting brunch. This is looking good. See, it doesn't need to be October to do spooky painting. Renee says spooky time is in our hearts and can happen anytime. Correct. I'm gonna immediately lose all of these vertices, but that's okay. We can always draw them back in. Because, like, here's one, I just painted over it. And we do have to bring in the bokeh over here. Part of the world I'm in North Carolina in the US. The camera doesn't get the same glare on the canvas as I do. So like if I look at the camera, this spot is super dark and it's kind of isolated. But that's not how it looks in person. So we're gonna make it look less like a donut over there or something. Now, this goes about halfway down for the vertices. Yeah, that's closer to where that should be. I'm starting to not like this brush anymore. And I'm also feeling like this part could get darker even. That's fine. I can always add more. For now, I should do a nice base layer of it though. We're to see here. This kind of comes down this way. And there's a little bit of lightness in this area that I can keep there. See how glare that looks when I turn it perfectly that way? There's so much glare. My acrylic is drying up just a little bit too much for what I'm trying to do. Ooh, that was too much. Make that darker. That looks much better, darkening this. Okay, still don't know if I want this to be darker yet. So I'm going to do the bokeh stuff. Are my studio lights only behind the camera, or do you have one behind you? I only have the two. I have one here, this one, and then I have one up here that's kind of catching this part of my head. Ideally you have three, as I've learned from Steven. Ideally you have a catch light or a key light. What's it called? There's names. This is my key. That one, I forget what that one's called. And then there's one behind, but I don't have that one because I don't have another light. And there's not really space because I can touch this wall. There's not really space for that. Ideally you have enough space that you can blur that background and then put a light like from the floor to catch the back of my head so that I'm not so blending into the background. Okay. Smaller brush. Maybe, nope. You. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my sky color and we're gonna do a little bit of bokeh into here. And then I'll decide if I wanna make this darker. But that's where we're at. Thank you, Kai. This painting is looking good so far. So my plan with this, let's use glazing liquid with my sky color. And some of these dots are much bigger and I need to make more transparent. Does that size feel right? No, it doesn't. Actually, the size feels right. The brush is too stiff. I need it to be softer. Soft brush. Yeah. It'll let me do a bit rounder of its line too. Okay. I'm just going to start filling in little bubbles and they're going to start to like overlap and get brighter. I'm starting with some of the darker ones. I did do a bright one just so I could see how I felt about it. And as I fill these in, it'll start to look more and more like your eyes are unfocused. And I've done this same technique in a few different paintings, and it kind of messes with my brain a little bit as I'm doing it. But I do enjoy doing it. It's fun. Hi. How are you doing?
Good. I was just checking on you.
Uh-huh.
To see when you're going to be wrapping up.
Soon.
Okay.
You like it?
I like it.
Thank you.
Interesting. bokeh painting channel.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be for a while.
I briefly run the vacuum.
Okay.
The hand vac. So if you hear something that sounds like a vacuum.
Okay.
It's
Well,
a
half the
vacuum.
time when I stream on a Friday, you leave, so we hear the garage door opener.
Okay. This will be different. This will be a different sound.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm trying to keep it interesting for everyone with various sounds.
We appreciate the very sounds. Vacuum go brr. I'm trying to work in this whole area because this is the area that's getting that. And it really shapes the spaces between the tree and the sky. How audible is that? Can I be heard over that? It's pretty audible. We can hear you. Okay, so I can keep talking. Now the thing I don't like about this technique is I have to keep doing it. It drowns out the music? Okay. Like, I have to commit to doing this. And I have to keep going with it until it looks good. I can't just... It's not just a few brush strokes and I'm like, oh look, it's a bokeh. I need to keep going until it feels intentional. What Kep thinks of vacuum? Kep doesn't hate it, but he's not going to go near it. My little dog barks her brains out before turning it on. Aw. I think I'm almost done with this gray. I need to go into a lighter gray. Yeah, I think so. Okay, lighter gray. Oh, that's not visible. I think some of these are too bright. Maybe if I keep building some of these up, it'll help. But I can also mix up another color and kind of go back in between the two grays I've done for the bokeh. But also, like, once I get to the spiderweb part, you're not even gonna see this that much. I have to do up here too, because that part will be visible to whoever buys this. I hear Steven editing. Can you all hear me talking for the editing? Loudly edit. Can you hear it, Becca? Yes, you're fine. Secret vlog editing that you will know about. It's the Krispy Kreme challenge vlog. How does this look? I think I need another gray. I need to go back to the gray. think I need to bring some over here because even though it doesn't happen as much over here because of the distance, it needs a little bit. And it does need to happen on the side of the canvas here too, so I should probably do that. It feels like it ends right here, and I need to bring just a few more this way. That feels better. Okay. Happy with that. We have a 22-month resub from Statman. Good morning, who says happy Friday. It is a good Friday. Did I use a DSLR? Nope, just my phone. Okay. I do think I need to darken it just a little bit in some places. So that will be the last thing I do for today. Just a little bit more Mars Black. Maybe with some glazing liquid. So I don't get too heavy-handed with the dark color. What brush? Deerfoot? Maybe Deerfoot. Gentle dark. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we'll just do a little bit of scrub up into some of this. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Glazing liquid, just to soften, and not as dark. Accidentally totally take out the entirety of this grassy part. Probably should have used a bigger brush. Okay. Need to pull that back just a little bit. And I did lose all of this hill, so we're going to bring that back in. That feels better. Okay. I'm happy with that and the progress for today. And in painting, it is important to step back and give yourself a visual break from it so that you're not getting blind to what you're working on. I do think I could bring in a little bit more bokeh right here, but I need to not. I need to leave it alone. I need to give myself some time. Do I do painting as a hobby? Is it working out for me to do it full time? This isn't like all I do, but it's also what I do. Because like I do this. On Mondays I stream video game. Right now I'm playing a game called Okage. But I also do stuff with my husband on his channel. And then like there's other stuff that's part of it. So like that all together is my job. But this still definitely looks like an album cover. A Midwest emo album cover. I work for the Kep. Where is the Kep? He didn't come see me today, but Steven's been here, so he's gone to hang out with Steven. Alright, I'm going to wash my brushes, clean my hands so I don't accidentally get gray on the piece that I'm going to go grab, the two pieces I'm going to go grab. Better than Kepler Screaming? True. Much better than Kepler Screaming. Okay, brush clean, palette knife. He's supervising Steven. He might just be sitting at the top of the stairs. Lately he just wants to sit in the way of everyone going up and down the stairs. Clean hands before grab painting. Yeah, I think I need to do a little bit more bokeh, and I don't love that. I'm sick of going up and down stairs. This has to stop, pick a floor. No, he just sits there, regardless of what floor we're on. Alright, let's plug this in so it's not dead by next time I paint. Alright. Things that are coming up tonight. Steven and I are playing Sonic 3 on his channel. And I'm looking forward to it because I don't know if I've ever played it. It's either going to be, we start it and I'm like, oh yeah! Or I'm going to be like, no idea, I don't recognize any of this. I did enjoy Sonic 2 last week a lot. That was a lot of fun. And then Monday will be more Okage. And then on Friday next week we will continue this piece. We will decide if there's going to be more bokeh, like, filled in, especially here. Not sure yet. I may leave it alone because the spiderweb's going to take over and be all of the detail later. I should roll beans. Shout out to my Patreon sponsors. Yeah, and the other thing that's coming up is I will be releasing a time-lapse eBay and Redbubble of a painting. So let me grab that. So this piece that I did forever ago is going to go up on eBay for auction. If you want the actual canvas, you can bid on it. It's been isolated for the isolation coat. It has not been varnished quite yet. That's what I'm going to do after I release that video and start laundry. So the Aurora is going up. And I don't think the blues are super... There's blue up in the sky. And that's one of my favorite parts of this. Is like kind of the transition from the pink into the blues and the blacks in here. I really like this piece. It's very, very colorful. So this one will go up. Oh, you can see it really good by my thumb here. This piece is going up in a few minutes. So you can bid on the original, you can buy merch with this on it, and you can watch the time lapse on the YouTube channel. And I think that's all the news. It's going on the shop? Yes, it is going on the shop, and it will be on a desk mat. So this one is going up. And then next one I don't have it from Dan yet, will be the Milky Way, the one that I did right after this. So that one will be coming next. Samsung S25 phone covers. If Redbubble doesn't have them, then that's Redbubble. You may have to like message them and be like, hey, when are you getting those? Because I hit yes to all the things. And thank you, Rock. Redbubble has a sale right now. I believe they do. I don't remember what the sale is, but I believe they have a sale. Oh, it just came out? They might have it, Fossix. They sometimes do like the new biggest phones, like pre-order before. So maybe. All right, I'm gonna go release this video. I'm gonna go start laundry, and I'm going to varnish this painting so that it is ready to go out when whoever buys it when the auction ends. Up to 40%. Okay. So some things are 40 and some things are not. But somewhere there is some sort of sale for the product. Tom just went live. Yeah, we could raid Tom because my video isn't public yet. I just have to go click like 5 buttons to hit eBay, Redbubble, copy links, paste into YouTube, post YouTube. So it will be like a good 5 minutes before my video is live anyway. So yeah, you can go say hi to Tom. Wish Tom a good Friday. Midwest Emo album cover? Okay, that sounds like a good raid message. We can go tell Tom Midwest Emo album cover. Let me pull up Twitch.
You should probably just...
What? We're raiding Tom. I think he's on his countdown. That's fine. Alright. See everyone tonight. Go tell Tom that, and check out the stuff for this video when it comes up in like 5-10 minutes. All right, go say hi to Tom. Have a good Friday. Bye, everyone. Could you put this back on the wall for me next to the blue one? All right. That's it. I'm out, everyone. See you later. See you tonight.